let's take you back home to Abia State.
Right.
Right here in Abuja, we are getting reports about the decision of the state government imposed to transfer some workers to their states. And it appears that it has not gone down well with states that were the receiving end of it.
It's not every policy that will go down well with every person, provided that policy is in the best interest of the initiators of that policy. What we are doing is not new to Nigeria. It was started by these states that are shouting, crying foul, states of the southeast, and some states of the south-south that did it to Abia sometime, when the time was not even propitious for them to do that. They disengaged, if I may use the language which they, in fact, used. They sacked our people from their service. And our people came back, and we took back our people and also retained their own people in our service. But right now, you see, the time is propitious for us to do that because there are circumstances that are beyond our control that has led us to copy what they did to us. In actual sense, what we are doing is what they taught us. Why are they now shouting foul? It's a policy that we copied from them. When they did their own, who shouted? Abia did not shout. Abia did not shout because all the states of the southeast, including some states of the south-south, did that to Abia. I want to emphasize that because some people don't know that this happened to us some 1 or 2 years ago. We endured in the interest of unity of this country, in the interest of the unity of the southeast. But now, man, you see, we have 18,000 minimum wage that I have to pay, which I must pay because I've promised that. And moreover, I am representing a people. I am a messenger of Abia people. Do you think I'm doing this thing without the support of Abia people? I'm exactly doing what my people have sent me to do. I have the support and backing of my people to do what I'm doing because I consulted, because I considered the implications of this policy. It is maybe it's a biting policy, but you have to congratulate us for having the will to do that because all these bashings that are coming from left, right, and center, we are taking them in good faith. But we are convinced that what we have done is in the best interest of Abia State. Let me give you an example. When I was about to graduate from the University of Ibadan, and in those days, you see, when you want to graduate, civil service commissions of different states will come to recruit you. Rivers State came. Rivers State government, in those days, came to the University of Ibadan to recruit people into their service. And because of the proximity between Abia and Rivers State, I decided to go for the interview, and I was willing to work for them. So when I went there, one man, must be their head of service or the permanent secretary in charge of establishment, the man asked me, after all the questions, and I did very well, and he asked me, young man, where would you like to work when you come into our service? And I told him, sir, you see, I would like to be an administrative officer in the civil service. The man just laughed. He said, young man, there are positions in our service that are reserved for the indigenes. That was how I felt. That was how I felt. That thing has remained indelible in my mind. But today, in our service, you have all types of people from the whole of Nigeria that we have allowed into our system to even occupy the most sensitive positions in our service. And we have not bothered all along. We have not bothered. If not for this 18,000 minimum wage, we will not contemplate that. But because of the situation of things, because of the economic situation of Nigeria, we didn't initiate, Abia State didn't initiate 18,000 minimum wage. I didn't initiate that. After all, when I won election, I promised my people that I'll promote them to the next level, and I did that. That is more than minimum wage. I did that long time, in 2008. And since then, I have maintained that. Therefore, I have a very cordial and intimate relationship with my civil servants. That remains my primary constituency. Therefore, once I make a promise to them, I have to fulfill the promise. And I've made the promise to them. Other states cannot be paying 18,000 minimum wage, and Abia will not pay. And we have made the commitment. And we are now saying, how do we pay? If these people who are now castigating the states that are castigating Abia, if they are passionate about their people, they should take them back. As we did. They should take them back and reintegrate them into the service instead of shouting, unity about unity this, unity this. There's no person who loves Igbo unity more than myself. In the whole of the Southeast, I want you to check out this. There's no person who has stood firm about Igbo unity, Igbo cause in the Southeast more than myself. So let them not go that angle. You see, they are going there to elicit sympathy. I don't know the type of sympathy those who are doing that want to elicit. Now, when also Abians were disengaged by some of these our sister states, it was with ignominy. There was no consultation. They didn't tell us. We were there and these people just came back and cried. We told them, no, we will integrate you. And we took them back. In addition to the non-indigenous who are in our service, we didn't sack. But in this case now, we had the courtesy of writing letters to all the governors of the Southeast, intimating them what we want to do and asking them, please, try and accommodate, because it is things that are beyond our control that is forcing us to do what we are doing. Therefore, my brother, you see, government should be seen to be serious. When you take a policy, you don't go forward and backwards. It's a policy that we have taken, and that chapter is closed. It was tough for us, and I'm sure it's tough for every state to pay 18,000 minimum wage. And I want a workforce that is virile, a workforce that should be motivated. And to motivate them to help me in achieving my objectives, I have to pay them adequately. Their pay must be at par with what happens in other states. And if I had the wherewithal, I'll pay them more, because they work hard for me if I pay them more. But I'm happy with them. Yeah. You see, also, let me tell you, during this strike, did you observe it? That all the states in the Southeast went on strike. All the states of the Southeast went on strike. Abia did not. There was no strike action in Abia. And the chairman of labor in my state, when he was interviewed, said, yes, we have not gone on strike because we have confidence in the governor and in the government of Abia State, that once they have made that pronouncement that they will pay, they will pay. That is how we've been working in Abia. People don't see that. What they see is bad news from Abia. Anything that happens that is bad, they link it to Abia. While there are good things that we have in Abia, good news coming there. So I'd like you to help us erase this erroneous impression that people have about Abia, that good news does not come from Abia. We have good news coming from Abia. You know what I'm saying.
One of the stories that seem to have also tarnished the image of Abia and your government is the incident that happened at the Abia State University, true, I don't know, still at the level of allegation. And your government has not spoken about the rape saga in the Abia State University.
No, it is not correct to say that our government has not spoken about the rape saga. You don't just rush and start talking when you are not sure of what you are going to say. You say, this thing emerged from the internet. Most of us didn't see it. It's now that we are learning that the thing came out in March. In March. That was when that video started circulating, in March. And it was only last month that one newspaper wrote it. It didn't make news. That particular newspaper wrote it again and linked it to Abia before every person started talking, castigating Abia State. As a government, no person will like what has happened. It's a crime that should be condemned. It's a crime that if the perpetrators are got, they should be punished. And we stand by that we condemn that act, and we're still looking for the people who did that. But what we are saying is that this thing did not happen in Abia State University. Never happened there. And people have already started saying gang rape in Abia State University, while it is an allegation. You see, that goes back to what I've been telling you. This thing never happened. It never happened in Abia State. We have made, the Vice Chancellor of the university has investigated, and the result is nil. The Students' Union government has investigated, and the result is nil. The Dean of Students' Affairs of that university has investigated, and the result is nil. The Commissioner of Police has investigated, and the result is nil. The Director of SSS has investigated, and the result is nil. And Abia State government has investigated, done all investigations. It is government that has the apparatus of investigation, and we have used that. And the result is nil. And we are challenging every person, including you, the pressmen, to come and give us evidence that this thing happened in Abia. Because it's now above our capacity of investigation. Those who have superior investigative machinery should come and prove to us that this thing happened in Abia. No person is coming forth as I'm speaking with you today. And since no person has come forth, it remains an allegation that it happened in Abia State University. And that is what we're saying, what every person is writing. Abia State, the governor. Some had a bravado to insult me, but I don't care. That is what a public officer sees. But we know that some of these things have happened in some universities. Worse things are happening in universities in this country. I don't want to mention names. Yet, the governor was not called bad name. The governor was not castigated. He didn't make headlines on the pages of newspapers. You know, you are pressman, you know what I'm saying. Even the last one that was on the pages of newspaper, when I said that I think in one of the states, a youth couple was raped. What has happened? Did all these non-governmental agencies, did they go on TV and start shouting about the governor of that state? In the other universities, did they go on TV and start castigating the government of that state? But this one that is still an allegation, which I'm challenging people, I mean where it happened. Not that it didn't happen. We sympathize. It is still internet something. We are saying, come and give us evidence where it happened in Abia State University. And no person is coming forward. But already the damage has been done about Abia State. Now that we have not gotten any evidence, will all these people who have been talking nonsense about Abia and about the governor, will they come on air to start apologizing? They will not. But they have already done the damage. That brings me back to what I have said. That this impression that people, it is still, this didn't happen, some of our people caused it. Our people caused it. When we were struggling for power, before we got unity in Abia State, before we got emancipated in Abia State, there was this issue of castigating Abia every day. Nothing is happening in Abia. This has happened, any bad thing, and our people were writing. Even those from our state who own newspapers were using their paper to portray Abia in bad light. You know what I'm saying? When there was kidnapping, if a goat misses, some newspapers will make it headline. All the goats in Abia State have got lost. If one person, though human beings will value human beings, it's kidnapping everywhere. If one person is kidnapped, kidnapping in Abia. At times they fabricate stories that are not real and put front page, creating the impression of insecurity, creating the impression of non-performance in Abia State. That sunk into the psyche of some people, especially those of them who don't come home, who are here, resident in Abuja and in Lagos, they don't know what is happening at home. They're only there, killing their state. This is sunk into the psyche of every person. This Abia, this Abia, this Abia, this Abia. When we eradicated kidnapping, they were not talking. And every person knows today that Abia is one of the safest states that we can think of in Nigeria. No person is talking. Those people who created this impression are no longer talking. Now, this issue of rape has happened. And they looked at the state. They looked at all the states. Where can we shift this thing? It is Abia. Shift it to Abia where it will make news. And it's making news. So, you people have to help us to clear this thing from the psyche of people. It is propaganda caused by our people, caused by those who don't like Abia State. But I tell you that Abia is one of the best states you can think of. It's number one. It's God's own state. I'm telling you honestly. So, good things are emanating and coming out from Abia. But these things are not being published. If we now showcase what we have done, which is real, you will go and see sons and daughters of Abia taking airtime to come and say that those things are not real. These are things that are verifiable. You can go to Abia, you see them. You go there and see them. They'll come and take airtime and say, that man is propaganda. I saw one who bought a newspaper and said, you wasted Abia money to do this. He has not seen states that have invested in the media to protect what they are doing. Abia just paid for one page, and an Abian came out on TV to say you are wasting money. So that is the sort of people that don't wish Abia any good. Most of them don't live in Abia, like I told you. They don't know what is happening.